Hey, Bradley, I think I met you in Vegas at one of the summits. I'm not sure. Years, been probably 5, 6 years. But what I wanted to ask you was, I didn't realize what IFTT was until I got your first course about a week ago, and I've been doing it. I didn't realize what it was. I'm doing it. I'm going all the way up to tier 4, and what I'm doing is my tier 3. When they repost something, obviously my tier 4 picks it up and does it also. It seems like that's giving me a little better authority on my tier 3 and a little more juice. What do you think?
Yeah, it could. I don't recommend doing that for blog syndication, though. If you're doing it for YouTube syndication, man, you can go as crazy as you want. You can stack as many networks at tier 1, 2, 3, 4, go as far out as you want. Personally, for blog syndication, I don't recommend it because it can create a kind of a footprint issue. Um, it depends on how you set it up. If you set it up properly, then you can do what you're doing and going from tier 1 all the way out to tier 4. But what you need to be concerned about is if it's the same content that's being posted from your content source, your distribution source, which would be your money site, for example, then you're going to want that attribution link, and that attribution link is going to syndicate out to every tier beyond, and that's going to basically be a tier 1 link from no matter which tier it's on, because it's that attribution link is going to get picked up and republished across every post on every tier. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And so the problem is, okay, like we talk about IFTTT networks being white hat, and they are because Google encourages us to not hide from footprints, but to claim our footprint, our branded footprint. In other words, all the sites that we create, the reason why we are interlinking them the way that we are is we're claiming that. We're saying, hey, this is us across all of these other properties, which is normal, right? People, whenever they write a blog post on any blog, they always end up going to Facebook and sharing it, or they tweet it, or they go to LinkedIn or whatever. It's perfectly normal to do that, and in fact, Google encourages that because you're basically solidifying your identity. And so at tier 1, that's fine because that's what you're supposed to do. What happens with the tiered networks, in my opinion, is that you're opening yourself up for potential penalties because anything beyond tier 1 for blog syndication is clearly being done to manipulate search results. It's only for backlink purposes that you're really doing it. I mean, let's be honest, that's what we're doing, right? And I get that as an SEO. Trust me, I bend the rules all the time or flat out break them. But in this case, I don't like to do it because unless you're setting up additional content triggers, which we cover in the advanced training, setting up tiered networks, unless you're basically minimizing your footprint at tier 2 and beyond by adding additional content from other sources on a regular basis, then you end up clearly having networks that all they're intended for is to manipulate PageRank, even though we don't use PageRank as a metric anymore. We're trying to manipulate search results with them. So that's all I'm saying is that you can add more and more tiers if you'd like, as long as you set them up with related content triggers to minimize the footprint. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what I do is I have other tweets and other social networks that they also syndicate. That's not even related to my money site, if that makes any sense.
And that's fine. It sounds like you've got it under control. And so for people that may be a bit more advanced, like what it sounds like you are, then absolutely, guys, experiment, develop your own recipes, your own methods. What we give you is a blueprint that we like to work with. What I don't like to do is, if I was to try to bring up, it's John, right?
Yes, sir. I had you
Okay.
muted. Yes, sir.
If I was to try to bring up all the way up to tier 4 in the training, you know how much it would open the floodgates of support questions?
Oh, absolutely. And is there any way you and I can have a private conversation? Maybe I'll send you a support ticket in, and you can hit me up.
Sure. Send us a support ticket. I can have a brief conversation with you off the clock. If it's going to be something in depth, we'd have to schedule with consulting time. Chris G, who's on the webinar right
Fine.
now,
I'll pay for it.
he'll direct the support ticket to me. So Chris, if you are here and you're listening,
Sure. Yep.
Chris, if you see a support come in from John requesting a brief consultation with me, just forward that to me, please.
And I'll pay you
Okay,
for your
sure.
time.
Thank you.
And I will pay you for your time. I don't mind.
Okay, well, that's cool. Just shoot us a support ticket. We'll work something out.
Thank you.
Awesome, right? Like that's what I love about Hangouts is that you get a completely unique experience
unlike any other. And that's why I've always enjoyed these. So with that, John, you also said that you had a little bit of a perspective. I'd like to get that perspective from the guy who's been doing this since Al Gore invented the internet, as he likes to claim, right? Like, what's your perspective on this IFTTT 2.0 stuff?
I like it. I've been in it. I'm probably the oldest guy in here since the TI 99 4A. If anybody knows what that is. I learned DOS. That was my first language I learned to program. So, but IFTT, what I will say is I listen to a lot of these courses. I come all the way from black hat to white hat. I do it all. And I'm sorry, I'm outside. Give me 1 second.
That's no problem. You're good.
They're building the flood levee out here. But anyway, sorry. I think the IFTT program is well written, one of the best I've ever seen, and I'm a very hard critic, and I want to say thank you, Mr. Bradley.
Oh,
heck yeah! You know what that needs? That needs, yeah, right.
That's cool. Thanks.
I agree, John. So with that said, for those of you who showed up into the Hangout a little bit late, just know that what we're doing is we're talking about IFTTT 2.0. Today is the day that it's launched. We're calling it a launch party. In fact, isn't there a special discount for just today, Bradley? Right? You want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, actually, it's for the first 7 days. So